Hey everyone, and welcome! Got a creative writing exam coming up? Don't even sweat it. You are in exactly the right place. We've put together this explainer to be a super clear, straight-to-the-point reviewer to help you totally ace that test.
Okay, let's get right into it. I want you to think of yourself as a kind of master builder. And to build something incredible, you need the right set of tools, right? So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to build your very own writer's toolbox, and we'll stock it with everything you need to turn your ideas into really powerful writing. You ready? Let's begin.
So the very first thing that goes in our toolbox is knowing what you're actually trying to build. You've got to choose your craft. And in the world of writing, that all starts with understanding the three main types.
Let's start by looking at what they're for. On one side, you have creative writing, or Malikhaing Pagsulat. This is the world of imagination, feeling, and art. We're talking about poems, novels, short stories, where the whole point is to express something. Then, on the other side, you've got technical writing. This is all about practical, crystal-clear communication, usually for business or professional stuff. Think feasibility studies or official emails. The goal here is just to inform, plain and simple.
And that brings us to our third type, academic writing, or Malikhaing Pagsulat. Now, this one is kind of the intellectual heavyweight of the group. It's what you do for school, for research papers, and it demands some serious skill. Why? Because you're not just sharing an idea, you're proving it with facts and research.
So for your exam, what do you need to remember about academic writing? Just think of these key things. It's got to be complex, meaning it's based on solid research. It is always formal, so no slang. It has to be objective, all about facts, not your feelings. You've got to be responsible, which means you always cite your sources. And finally, it's focused. It gets right to the point with no extra fluff. All right, toolbox check. We've picked our craft. What's next? Well, every builder needs a blueprint. In writing, our blueprint is description. It's the detailed plan that makes your world and your characters come alive for the reader. Let's dig into that.
Now, you can draw up two kinds of blueprints. The first is objective description. It just gives you the facts. The house is on a hill. Simple. It tells you what's there. But then, there's artistic description, and this is where the magic really starts. It's filled with feeling and imagination. The lonely house clung to the windswept hill. See the difference? One just informs you, the other makes you feel something. So, how do you get all the details for that amazing blueprint? It's actually pretty simple. It boils down to three things. First, use your senses. What do you see, hear, or smell? Second, tap into feelings. What's the emotion of the scene? Is it happy, tense? And third, just use pure observation. What is literally happening? When you mix these three together, your descriptions become incredibly rich and real.
Okay, so we've got our craft and our blueprint. Now it's time for the really fun part, adding the color. This is how we make our writing jump off the page. We're about to add some of the most powerful tools to our toolbox. Figures of speech.
Let's get a solid definition down, one that's perfect for your exam. Talutai, or figures of speech, is when you use words in a non-literal way to make your writing way more effective, colorful, and just plain memorable. It's all about picking words not just for their dictionary meaning, but for the pictures and feelings they create.
Okay, let's grab two of the most famous tools here, a simile and a metaphor. A simile compares two different things using words like katulad, nang, which is just like using like or as in English. So, siya ay katulad ng kandilang unti-unting naupos means she is like a candle slowly burning out. But a metaphor, that's a direct comparison. It says one thing is another thing. Si Ana ay isang ibong humanap ng kalayaan means Ana is a bird searching for freedom. One suggests they're similar, the other says they're the same.
Next up, we have personification. This is a really cool one where you give human feelings or actions to things that aren't human. Look at this example. The moon isn't just behind a cloud. It was shy and it hid. That doesn't just describe a scene. It creates a whole mood and gives personality to the night sky.
And then there's hyperbole. This is the art of dramatic exaggeration to make a point. I mean, obviously her chest didn't literally break apart, but saying it that way shows a level of emotional pain that just saying she was very sad could never, ever capture. It's a fantastic tool for showing extreme emotion.
And how about the rhetorical question? This is a question where you're not actually looking for an answer. You're asking it to make a powerful statement and get your reader to really think.
The answer here is supposed to be obvious. Of course not. But asking it as a question is so much more powerful and engaging.
Now, of course, these are just a few of the tools you can use. There are so many more, like irony, where you say the opposite of what you actually mean, or apostrophe, where you talk to someone who isn't there. Definitely take some time to review the whole list, because you'll want to have the perfect tool ready for any situation.
Okay, so check it out. Our writer's toolbox is now packed. We know about our craft, we have blueprints for description, and we've got all this colorful language. So, what are we going to build with all this? Let's try to put together a masterpiece. A poem. So just like a house has a foundation and walls, a poem is built from essential parts. You've got sukat, or meter, and tugma, or rhyme, which give it rhythm and sound. You've got saknung, or stanzas, which are like the paragraphs of the poem. And you have dalinhaga, that's where you use all those figures of speech we just talked about. All of these work together to create kariktan, which is that special beauty or impact, and it's all delivered through the persona, the voice speaking in the poem.
Now, for one last big decision in our building process, we need to choose our canvas. Are we going to follow a very strict, traditional plan, or are we going to build with total creative freedom? This is a really important choice when it comes to poetry.
Most poetry falls into one of two camps. On one side, you have conventional poetry. This stuff follows very specific rules about meter and rhyme, so it has a really clear, predictable structure. On the other side, you have free verse, or Malayang Talu drawn. And just like the name says, it is free from all those rules, so the poet gets to create their own rhythm and shape.
And for your exam, it's a really good idea to have a few of these conventional forms memorized. Think of this table as your little cheat sheet. Atanaga has 4 lines, each with 7 syllables. Adiona is even shorter, 3 lines, 7 syllables each. And of course, the famous haiku has that 5-7-5 syllable pattern across 3 lines. Knowing these shows you really get poetic structure.
But hey, don't ever think that free verse is just random words thrown on a page. It has its own special techniques. One of the big ones is called enjambment. That's where a sentence or a thought just flows from one line right into the next without any punctuation. It can create this awesome feeling of speed or surprise or even suspense.
And there you have it. Your writer's toolbox is officially ready to go. You know how to choose the right craft, whether it's creative, technical, or academic. You've got the skills to make amazing descriptive blueprints using your senses and feelings. And you're loaded up with colorful language, all those figures of speech that will make your writing totally unforgettable.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. Having the tools is just the first step. The real magic, the real fun starts when you actually pick them up and begin to build. So now that you have all the tools, what story are you going to write? Good luck on your exam.